Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to channel update for May 2017. So, I don't have too much to talk about here. I've got 3 items, though one of the items does have a couple of sub-items. So, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I've decided that Vehicles of War Thunder this month is going to be on a plane. Because, quite frankly, planes are much easier for me to go and actually record gameplay for, especially if they're low-tier planes. So, yeah. So like I said, this month's Vehicles of War Thunder is going to be on a plane. I've already decided what plane it is, but I'm not going to tell you all because, well, what would be the fun in that? Third thing I wanted to mention, which is a little bit weird because I only mentioned one thing so far. Meant to say, second thing I wanted to go ahead and talk about is that I've got to my first patron over on Patreon. So, there you guys go. I've got one. They're pledged at the $1 a month tier, which, granted, again, one person doing it isn't a whole lot of help, but it is help nonetheless, and obviously one person doing it might cascade into other people deciding, oh hey, if one person's able to do it, I guess I can do it too, and deciding that they want to go ahead and become patrons, and so it sort of cascades into a number of people being patrons. But just for anyone curious, the $1 a month tier, you get early access to my regular weekly uploads, i.e., as it stands right now, Mountain Blade Warband 1860s Old America and Stellaris Star Trek New Horizons, which is obviously a Star Trek mod for the game Stellaris. You also get early access to the VODs for my Friday streams, so specifically, as it stands right now, let's stream Europa Universalis 4, Roma Invicta. So yeah, you get early access to that. One thing I want to mention is that I have my Patreon set to its monthly pledge, so if you become a patron, you only get charged every month, not every time I make a paid post for your pledge tier. So as it stands right now, if you subscribe in May, you'll get charged once in May when you sign up, and then you'll get charged on the 1st of June, and that's just the way it is. They have it set to where you get charged right when you pledge, whatever day that is, and then you get charged again on the 1st of all subsequent months. So, like I said, if you were to go and become a patron on, say, May 8th or something, you get charged on May 8th for the month of May. Then you get charged June 1st, July 1st, August 1st, etc. through until whenever you decide you don't want to be a patron anymore. So yeah, just want to go and let you guys know about that. I just remembered a 4th thing that I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to go ahead and actually mention this 4th thing first, then I'll go back to the 3rd thing I wanted to go and talk about. So the 4th thing I want to talk about is that I do have a Discord server, and if you become a patron at any tier, you are automatically given a special role on my Discord. The role is basically just meant to allow me to give you specifically access to the Patreon text channel, and I think I might have a Patreon voice channel. Let me check on that. Yes, I do actually also have a Patreon voice channel. Obviously, though, they're not called Patreon because I just didn't feel like calling them that. So, they're called Tributary. Your role is Tributary if you become a patron. So, you get access to the Tributary text channel and the Tributary voice channel. On the off chance you want to go and actually use the voice channel. So, yes, just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know about that. So, I will have a link in the description to my Discord server in case you decide you want to join. And, of course, there will also be a link in the description to my Patreon if you decide you want to become a patron or a tributary, to put it in terms of the Discord roles. Okay, so back to the 3rd thing I actually wanted to go ahead and talk about is... So, going into the summer semester here, which will be starting towards the end of May this month. Well, May this month. That doesn't make any sense. Obviously, it's May this month because this month is May. Yes, as I was saying. So, around, I think it's May 22nd or so is when the semester starts. There is... So, one of the classes I'm needing to take earlier than I normally would. Normally I would take night classes because it makes sure that my YouTube recording schedule and whatnot doesn't get interfered with, at least in any real way. But yeah, so I'm gonna end up needing to go ahead and take that class earlier in the day, meaning like 3 o'clock in the afternoon until about 7, almost 8 o'clock at night, because it's a science one, and so there's the lecture and the lab, each one being about 2 hours and 15 minutes, I believe it is, something like that. So it's like 3 to 5:15, then a 15-minute break, and then 5:30 to 7:45 for the actual lab, and the 3 to 5:15 is lecture. So yeah, just want to go and let you guys know that. So that might interfere with my schedule a little bit. So that class takes place Tuesday and Thursday. Granted, Tuesday I never recorded in the first place, so that's fine. Thursdays, however, I did tend to go and record things if I wasn't able to record them on Wednesday, because I don't traditionally record on Monday. But I might have to go and actually adjust my schedule to try and allow myself to traditionally record on Monday, because I'm going to be losing Thursday as a possible recording date. I also want to go and mention that another class I'm taking is labeled as a dynamic class, meaning, as far as I can tell, they don't have any set schedule on when they have class, so they don't have a set time or a set day of the week in which they do class. That starts June 8th. So that also is probably going to interfere when it comes to doing YouTube. So I just want to let you all know that if I do end up missing a week or so of recordings, it's because of the screwed up schedule that I'm going to be having for about 10 weeks or so, starting May 22nd or right about there. So yeah, that's just what I want to let you guys know, is that my schedule is going to be a little bit wonky towards the end of this month, and it's going to stay that way for about 10 weeks. There's not much I can do about these last 2 classes I need to finish up at community college before I transfer to an actual 4-year college. And obviously I'll still be trying to do YouTube as much as possible while at the 4-year college, doing the sort of last 2 years of the total of 4 years. But again, some things might get in the way once I actually transfer, we'll see. But yeah, so I just want to go and let you all know about that. So like I said, if I end up missing a week if I end up missing a week at any point during the 10 weeks starting May 22nd, that is the reason. It is because my school schedule is going to be a little bit wonky, especially come June 8th, specifically because that's when that dynamic class starts, and that one goes for 8 weeks. And honestly, I'd rather not take the dynamic class. One, it's on material that I basically did in high school. Specifically, I'm an IT major, and lo and behold, they want me to go ahead and take ITE 221 is what they labeled as, which is basically PC hardware and OS architecture, which is not new stuff to me. I grew up around computers. I took computer courses. I took courses in elementary school to learn how to actually type and whatnot on a computer, because the elementary school was like, you know what, turns out computers are the way things are going to be going in the future, so we want to make sure that you all adequately understand how to use a computer. And so they had typing courses and things like that, and I think computer safety courses as well, stuff like that, to try and make sure you understand how to use the computer properly and things like that. High school, I took classes that required me to take apart and build computers that were given away to install the OS. In some cases, to install the OS. Generally speaking, we would just clone a hard drive and then slap the hard drive that's cloned into there, but that wasn't always the case. Sometimes we actually had to install the OS along with all the software manually. But yeah, so I mean, at first I have to find it stupid that I gotta take the class. I'm not a person who is, for lack of a better way to phrase it, technologically illiterate. So it seems a little bit weird that I've got to take that class, but I do, so yeah, it really sucks. They gotta take a class that's definitely not going to be teaching me anything that I don't already know. But sadly, that is the case. Just like I gotta take a calculus class, despite the fact that it has not taught me anything that comes across as being applicable to an IT major. Because all the stuff they teach me is stuff that is definitely useful if you were a business major. But guess what? I'm not a business major. Yeah, I'm a little bit annoyed by that still, and I will be. But yes, so I just wanted to go ahead and get that stuff out of the way. So yeah. So school might get in the way a little bit for 10 weeks starting May 22nd. So if it does, then it does, and I'm sorry about that. It means I might miss a week or two or whatever throughout that entire 10-week span. But I'll try not to. I will try to keep to my recording a week ahead schedule, but I make no guarantee that I will be able to always keep to it, because if something comes up, or they decide, specifically in the case of that dynamic class, they decide they're going to have class at 11 o'clock in the morning, which is sort of my traditional recording time, then yeah, that's sort of going to get in the way. Hopefully, however, my professor realizes that dynamic is kind of stupid and will decide to go and actually hold the class on a somewhat set schedule. But I won't know about that until after I have attended the first class for that one. But yes, so I will see you guys in the next video. I just want to go in and make sure you're all up to date on how things are going to be going for the channel starting in May and to a degree kind of overlapping into June. Obviously I will still have a channel update video in June, but to a degree it'll be, specifically that section will be basically just reiterating what I said here to make sure people still know that it's still happening. But yes, so I will see you guys in whatever the next video it is on my channel that you watch. But until then, a goodbye and a farewell.
Understood. Engaging cloak. Power cycling cloak. Firing up. Commencing cooldown.
Put an end to that pile of scrap. Just down an artillery cruiser.
That's 2 in a row, Captain.
Flechettes locked and ready to fire. I launch flechettes. Thanks.
We got him, Captain.
That's why you're the captain. That's one less destroyer to worry about. That got him. Artillery cruiser destroyed. Cloak activated.
Our cloak is gone.
Flechettes have positive lock. Flechettes launched, Captain.
You heard the captain. Systems drained, Captain.
Enemy warheads locked on our position. Thanks for the assist.
Ship's hull down to 50%, Captain. Understood. Engaging cloak. Cloak has collapsed. Activated. Fusion reactor is overheating, putting energy system offline.
The ship's falling to pieces. We can't hold her together. Dominating the enemy, Captain. We're completely dominating the enemy, Captain. We've got this battle in the bag. Let's finish him.